Well, welcome Grenada, Carrico, Petite Monica, and the rest of the world. Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica. Everywhere. The places who are also celebrating Carnival or just concluded celebrating Carnival. I'd like to say hello to you guys. Now, it's a pleasure, as always, to be on the program with you, to talk to you about what's making the news here in the Spice Isle, Grenada, and other parts of the Caribbean. Of course, folks, it's never a dull moment in the Spice Isle, never a dull moment in these islands we call the Caribbean. Nicki Minaj issuing an apology for her husband's behavior during the Carnival celebration in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, just before coming on the program, we spoke to a student who is currently in Wuhan. That's the epicenter of the feared coronavirus. They have started a petition hoping to get to the relevant authorities here in Grenada to have them brought back to Grenada forthwith. Already, their petition has gone up to more than 1,000 signatures, only requiring just about over 400 more for them to achieve the required amount of, or not necessarily required, but of course the target that they are looking for. So we'll tell you more about that in a moment. We have so many other things to tell you about. Also, the Ministry of Health dismisses new Today report as false. We'll talk to you about what that is referring to. Kayak mass results, we have that for you as well. And Grenada on importation transmission watch. So we have a lot to tell you about. The court, in fact, is trying to decide on what to do with fake Dr. Akeem. We will share that with you in a moment as well. So tell people that the program has started. If you have not yet done so, we encourage you to share the program so that other people will know that we have already started. So you go ahead and share the business. Yes? And when you share, that's when you become an ambassador for the program. Folks, we want to let you know that the headlines for Mikey Live is brought to you through the kind compliments of Digicel. It's brought to you to the kind compliments of Nawasa as well. You see, folks, when we come back, it will be real news in all your Lily Lolo. So brace all yourself. And for those of you who are viewing the program for the first time, as always, we'd like to say thank you for so doing, and to all the regulars, thank you for being a loyal follower. We'll be back, and when we return, it's real news in all your Lily Lolo.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granand, St. George.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Golden Mass invites you to the launch of The Realm, home of the supreme gods and goddesses. Join us as we display our spectacular costume designs for Spice Mass 2020. March 7th, Spice Basket, featuring the best entertainers. Our ambassadors, Natty and Tunda, Jab King, Chaos and LED. Our hype masters for the night, Kevin Crown from New York, Select a Beast and Smiley. Gates open at 9 p.m. Grab your tickets at Grenadian Optical, The Occasion, Big Barbershop, Double Up and online at GoToVet.com. Sponsored by Fast Cash, Swiftback, Body Image, Junction Bar and Grill, Monster, Jackpot City, Go to Vet, Party Grenada and Boss FM. March 7th, Spice Basket. Welcome to the realm, to the realm, to the realm.
Grenada is the place to be June 5th to 7th for the highly anticipated Grenada Music Festival 2020, featuring two-time Grammy Award winners, Kool and the Gang, Coco T, Romaine Virgo, Marcia Griffiths, Arturo Tappan, Crossfire, Nadia Batson, Wes Ways, Vaughn, and the Dancehall Emperor, Chavo Ranks. 3 nights of amazing music, great food, and pure Grenada hospitality. Grenada Music Festival 2020, June 5th to 7th, Quarantine Park, Grenada. Tickets available online at GoToFet.com. Book your flights at hotel today. This ad is sponsored by the Grenada Tourism Authority.
Okay, Grenada, welcome back to the program, and other parts of the world again, welcome to tonight's program. So let's get into what's making the news for today. Now, the Ministry of Health hereby informs residents of St. David that services at the St. David's Health Center at Bellevue, St. David, will be interrupted from midday tomorrow, Thursday, February 27th, 2020. Now, this, they say, is to facilitate an important assessment and to rectify electrical fittings and supplies to the facility, as well as to ensure the safety of staff and patients. Now, the assessment will also determine proper functioning of equipment at the facility. Now, clients, you are therefore encouraged to utilize the services as early as possible. Now, the Ministry of Health Community Health Services sincerely apologizes for any inconveniences that this may cause. All right, so please, folks, be guided accordingly. The next thing that we have to tell you about. Now, here's what, right? The outbreak of the COVID-19 has now spread to various countries. At this point, there are no COVID-19 cases in Grenada. However, in view of the current situation, Grenadian health authorities are expanding their surveillance to cover a wider area of travel to affected areas. Now, this means that the island is on what is referred to as Importation Transmission Watch, the ITW. Now, these includes assessing exposure to risks, monitoring events in the region, and providing pre-travel training. Pre-tip risk assessment, education and preparation can markedly reduce the likelihood of an incident disrupting normal everyday life, trade and travel. One person, while on a holiday or leisure or business trip, can result in risk of transmission by virtue of contact importation. Now, apart from mainland China, these include the following countries and cities: Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, and Italy. Health authorities are also advising people to avoid non-essential travel to these areas and are reminding those who choose to do so that on their return they can be quarantined for a maximum of 14 days. Now, the Ministry of Health advises people who develop a fever, cough, or shortness of breath within 14 days of visiting the mentioned countries or the listed countries to contact their family doctor and the health authorities on 440-2649 during regular working hours, that is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for 171079 or 417-2562 after regular working hours, weekends, and holidays. Now, these travelers, you are advised to refrain from visiting health centers or the casualty department in the first instance. The general public, you are reminded to take the necessary precautions for prevention of respiratory infections. Clean hands often by washing with soap and water or using alcohol hand rub. Contain germs by staying at home if you are unwell. Do not go to work or school until your health condition is improved. Do not visit patients in hospital if you are sick. Cover. Use a tissue to cover your mouth and nose when you cough and sneeze, and not into your bare hands. You may also use your elbows. Bin. Used tissues immediately need to go in a bin. Now, do not leave used tissues laying around, as it can lead to contamination. Do not sneeze or cough into your hands, as you may contaminate objects and people that you touch. And this is a very, very, very important, though lengthy, notice from the Ministry of Health, and probably we'll do that again for you tomorrow, as we are stepping up our surveillance and proactive measures to deal with the COVID-19. Earlier, while on that subject, the Ministry of Health on Monday dismissed as false a social media article posted by the New Today newspaper on the 21st of February 2020 that claimed a plane carrying Chinese nationals landed at the Morris Bishop International Airport in the wee hours of Friday morning. Health officials, port health, immigration and airport authorities all confirmed that a private aircraft did land at the airport around 1 a.m., but there were no Chinese nationals on that aircraft, contrary to a false report by the local newspaper in its e-publication. Kevil Frederick, the Public Information and Communication Officer at the Ministry of Health, said that the multi-stakeholder response team at the airport followed standard protocols which are aligned with the government's efforts. The World Health Organization and Pan-American Health Organization PAHO surveillance and monitoring protocols in response to the coronavirus, the COVID-19. They say that the flight in question did not originate from China, and all of the passengers and crew on board that aircraft were screened, interviewed, and had their travel history checked and verified by the relevant parties managing the response, explained Kevil Frederick. He says that we have absolutely nothing to hide because our protocols are approved and sanctioned by the World Health Organization, the Pan American Health Organization, and the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA. Now, he says, so to say that a plane carrying Chinese nationals landed at our airport in the wee hours of the morning amounts to rumor mongering. And listening and reading public comments tells me that the article did, in fact, stir unnecessary public fear, said Frederick, who is the CARPHA PAHO Risk Communications focal point on the island. All right, it goes on to say more. Of course, we have posted that article on our website, mikeylive.com. Folks, we have just received a correspondence from the folks who are currently at Wuhan, China. One of the students who represent, or who claim that they represent the other students, have reached out to our news team asking for help in bringing to light their frustration. They have put together a petition created by Jamila Pe. And they say that it's the petition to the government of Grenada. The subject, evacuation of Grenadian students from Wuhan, China. It reads, this petition is in light of the novel coronavirus COVID-19 that has struck Wuhan, China. We, the Grenadian students in Wuhan are extremely distressed since we are at the epicenter of the virus and have been on lockdown since the 23rd of January 2020. China is a very foreign country where many of us do not have a family and administrative support. This ain't Brooklyn. Moreover, this situation has been particularly daunting for students who live off campus since we are forced to fend for ourselves with limited resources and major restrictions. We are forbidden to leave our residence and access to medical care is also very limited unless it is deemed absolutely necessary, considering the risk of contracting the virus. Since the inception of this crisis, the government of Grenada has made no substantial efforts in negotiating for immediate evacuation. Our government, without understanding the magnitude of the situation here in Wuhan, has taken a relaxed approach and an overall attitude of resignation when it comes to the evacuation of students. Several nations have had negotiations, partnered, and finally evacuated their nationals. There are many Caribbean nationals in Wuhan. Why can't we come together, like many nations did, to evacuate our citizens? We, the student body of China, call on the government of Grenada to make haste to negotiate the evacuation of all 14 Grenadian nationals in Wuhan. We ask everyone, along with other Grenadian nationals in China and at home, to join forces in petitioning the Grenadian government for our immediate evacuation. Folks, we have monitored the progress of the petition that's currently in circulation on social media. It is asking for 1,500 signatures. So far, in the few days that it has been published, it has already received over 1,000 signatures, requiring only just about some over 400. Folks, I've also asked one of the students there if their view represents the view of all 14 students in Wuhan, and they said yes. I also reached out to another student who is not in Wuhan but is in China, and my efforts proved futile. This is a situation that we are going to continue to monitor. Of course, we anticipate a response from the Grenadian government once they would come to understand what the students are demanding at this point in time. But I can only imagine the frustration of some of those students who are currently there, really not seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Serious situation there. Folks, we are moving on as we get to our next story. Now, the next thing that we have to tell you, this one comes from the National Water and Sewage Authority, as they advise consumers served by the Tufton Hall Water Treatment Plant that due to system maintenance, you will experience an interruption in your supply between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. That's on Thursday. That will be tomorrow, God's willing. Tufton Hall Water Treatment Plant serves Duquesne, Victoria, and all of St. Mark to Moran in St. John. Consumers, you are therefore encouraged to collect and store water in clean covered containers, and that's prior to the scheduled interruption in your supply. Please be advised that although the system will reopen at 8 p.m., consumers, especially those in elevated areas, may receive your supply within 2 hours after the scheduled restoration period. Now, the authority apologizes for any inconveniences caused. I would like to thank you for your patience as they work towards the delivery of a safe, adequate, and reliable water supply. And folks, we are moving on. Now, things have ended in Carriacou with regards to their mass. Boy, they say that Kayak Mass 2020 was one for the ages. Quite a number, as expected, of Grenadians went into Carriacou to enjoy the mass. And by all indications, they did enjoy the mass. Now, I was telling you that one of the bands that really stood out for me was that Corona band, boy. You know, they put up their little Corona placards and things like that. And persons got an opportunity to read some little things relating to coronavirus. Now, here are the results. Road March went to Golden. His song 473. Parade of the Bands. Fancy Mass, first. JCB, second. Wings of Sparrow, and third. Carnival Lovers. In terms of Monday Night Mass, first. Jam Tree, Palm Tree. Then second. Vision 2020, Amazing Colors for Juve. Flawless and Lawless, first. And second, Diamond Girls. Old Mass went to Coronavirus, Lisa and Theresa Hamlet. And we have to say congratulations to the winners. We are moving on, folks. The next thing that we need to tell you about, boy, we've been hearing about this that the U.S. is implementing. The United States, they have implemented, according to reports, new laws for Caribbean and other foreign nationals who are permanent residents or green card holders. Now, according to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, green card holders who fail to admit that they are immigrants when filing their income tax returns or who failed to report some of their income could result in deportation. Caribbean men between 18 and 25 who also failed to register with the United States Selective Service could also be deported. All right. Now, on Monday, the USCIS began implementing the inadmissibility of public charge grounds final rule, denying green card to Caribbean and other immigrants, who may need U.S. government assistance. In light, they say, of the U.S. Supreme Court February 21st, 2020 decision to stay the statewide injunction preventing implementation of the final rule issued by the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. USCIS will now apply the final rule to all applicants and petitions postmarked or submitted electronically or on or after February 24, 2020. It's a lot that it speaks about, and so we have posted it on our website so that persons can get a better understanding. It took me a little while to really understand the depth of everything, and so for persons even within the system, you may take some time, but go through it. And if you have any difficulties in understanding the document, then probably you can get help from someone who has a better idea. Earlier, the court is currently deciding what they will do with Dr. Arkim. And that's according to a document. That's according to a report that we have monitored on, I think, on the New Today. It was a very interesting article speaking of what exactly should the court do with Dr. Arkim. The need for proper facilities to house individuals with mental illness who run afoul of the law is once again rearing its ugly head in the rare court matter involving 19-year-old Akeem Andrew, who has been diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. Now, antisocial personality disorder is a mental condition in which a person has a long-term pattern of manipulating, exploiting, or violating the rights of others without any remorse. Now, this behavior may cause problems in relationships or at work and is often of a criminal nature. Now, Andrew was due to receive his sentencing on 2 summary charges of fraud by false pretense and 4 summary charges of practicing medicine without being registered and 1 charge for driving without a license. Akeem no license? What in jail is that? Well, I know seen that. driving without a license. Yeah, time Akim come and check me, and Akim bunks me car, and he says, not him. I say, all right. Although Akim don't license, you know. Anyway, no wonder Akim never took responsibility. Anyway, let's go back to the story. All right, let's go. Right. Right. Driving without a license by acting Chief Magistrate Teddy St. Louis on Monday. However, the magistrate, who has adopted a gradual approach to the case against the teenager, has been engaged in extensive discussions with the police prosecutor and the defense attorney at law, and has once again decided to push back the sentencing hearing. You understand? Now, the major stumbling block is a lack of structures in place to cater for the mental health needs of persons like Akim, who faces at least 2 years imprisonment for the crimes which involves him misleading over 30 individuals, including the mother and sister of a sitting magistrate, that he was a medical doctor. Now, they say he is looking at 2 years in prison, but the question is whether it should be suspended with potential to be rehabilitated. An acting magistrate St. Louis told the doctor, Dr. Pancho, Augustine Pancho, and that's the clinical psychologist who diagnosed Andrew and was summoned to the court to expound on his diagnosis and recommendations. Now, according to Dr. Pancho, who expressed the view that even if a custodial sentence is given, Andrew has a high risk of reoffending, especially when it comes to personality disorder. It is who you are, and there is no cure or treatment. Do you understand? He says that Akim is just who Akim is, and he is going to do it again, said the medical expert, who described the accused as one having narcissistic traits. You understand? Now, one of several types of personality disorders, narcissistic personality disorder, is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. Andrew himself admitted to the court on Monday that he just wants to help when he sees that things are not being done properly, and takes it upon himself to try and fix it. Says, when I look around society, I see a lot of void and gaps that need to be filled. I believe I have a special power. I have a lot of potential. I just need some guidance, said the teenager, reiterating that there is absolutely no treatment, therapy, and counseling for him in prison to curb the tendency. Dr. Pancho also pointed out that there is also a significant gap in government's social network, which he noted does not have the relevant staff at legal aid or the necessary structures in place to handle persons like Andrew. However, attorney Edwin expressed the view that it is incorrect for anyone to say, as it is often said here, that there are no resources to assist the mentally disabled, to assist young people who run afoul of the criminal justice system and who have psychological problems. He said it is misallocation of funds by the government and a consistent and conscious decision not to dedicate the funds in those areas, Attorney Edwin said in an interview with the New Today following Monday's hearing. And then it goes on and on and on and on. And I would like to encourage you to check out the New Today. for this article, a very, very, very interesting article, and a comprehensive look into the Akim matter. I think that it will be when the court decides on Akim, a precedent will be set. No doubt about that. However they choose to go custodial or non-custodial, it will be a precedent that will set a very interesting one. And a lot of people argue that people like Akim doesn't deserve to be jailed, but needs to be institutionalized for with some effort of rehabilitation. Folks, we are moving on. How are we looking for time? Boy, time running out on us, boy. All you. Trinidad-born American rapper Nicki Minaj, what? She was urged to do a soca song with soca stars Machel Montano and Neil Iwer George for Carnival 2021. She's one of the top rappers in the world. She celebrated Carnival for the first time in Trinidad and Tobago, where she's originally from. But one will think that that's what you're going to be reading about the day after Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago. Unfortunately, it is not. Her husband, Petty, Mr. Petty, I think a name that's very befitting, his behavior is what's breaking the internet. Videos circulating, memes circulating, with what appears to be an overprotective husband. Elbow in. They say elbow whole day. Anyway, leave it up to Trinidadians. They done him. Done him on social media as Grenadians would. But it's better Trini than Grenada. Here's a look at the video that is making the rounds right now. The little incident involving Nicki Minaj's husband and Iwer So that was it right there. Take a look at it again. Iwer George seemed to, well, first of all, Machel Montano mentioned her, and it seemed like an invitation for her to probably take the mic or so. Iwer George went over to have a conversation, and there it goes. The elbows started flinging. When it seemed like Iwer George reached over to Nicki to have her say something or perform, and he got in the way, and of course, was using his elbow at Iwer George. Obviously, that didn't go too well with the Trinidadians there. In fact, what the hell are you doing in the middle day? How you push up so you're tampon, boy? Anyway, the Trinidadians were not having it, and the memes flew like jet plane. When I tell you jet plane, let's break the internet.
Fellas, assemble.
Ladies and gentlemen, this video was what's breaking the internet. All the stars assembled to deal with Mr. Petty. Gorilla, King Kong, Bruce Lee, Jason Bourne, Men in Black, Avatar. You just name it.
Breaks Thanos.
Name it.
Man, you fools ain't.
Anyway, this is what was breaking the internet. I tell you, the memes on steroids. When I tell you steroids, steroids. And so that's what's breaking the internet. Now, folks, you would also like to know that Nicki Minaj herself has apologized for her husband's behavior. Yes. She said he was unaware of the culture there and that she apologized. You understand? Yeah. She said that he was unfamiliar with the Caribbean culture. He faced harsh criticisms. You understand? People calling him all sorts of names. They told her, next time, next time, Nikki, lead a boy home. You understand? Leave him in Brooklyn. But she says this is his very first carnival. He's never even been to carnival in Brooklyn. And so begs that people there forgive the boy for his petty behavior. Pun intended. His last name is Petty. Who tell her to give him man that name? Okay, folks, we're moving on. There's another thing that I had to tell you. We monitored a situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A man there, who a prosecutor says is wanted by police in Grenada, has been remanded to prison until tomorrow. The man, Moses Maharaj, appeared before the magistrate in Georgetown on Monday. He was charged that on February 15, at Diamonds, in circumstances likely to cause a breach of the peace, he made use of indecent language to a police constable. To wit, the P word, to describe a woman's, no one man effing police can't lock me up. You not no effing bad boy. Gunshot for you, mother, whatever. The man tell a police that. I'm not making it up. The man tell a police, you know what? Let me leave that alone. Because what I'm saying is, he don't normal. The man told a police just that. Folks, we had a story to tell you about the criminally insane. Where should the criminally insane be housed? But we are running out of time, and so we'll be able to share that with you. Possibly tomorrow, God's willing, if you would permit me again, because we are running out of time. It speaks about the same thing, but this time it's not the same Akim situation, but it's not in Grenada. This time it is a situation in St. Lucia. So we see that other islands are facing the same thing. What do you do with the criminally insane? Now, this woman broke up my car, and there's probably nothing I can do about it because they are saying that she may not be mentally stable. And if she's not mentally stable, then you understand what's going on there. You understand? So what should be done with these people? Because if they are to remain on the street, then they are likely to cause more problems. No. Alright, so folks, we are taking a break and we shall return shortly. And when we return, we have a few more things to tell you about. We have the national report and so on, but we need to take a quick break right here on Mikey Live. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back.
Grenada is the place to be June 5th to 7th for the highly anticipated Grenada Music Festival 2020, featuring two-time Grammy Award winners Kool and the Gang, Coco Coco T, Romaine Virgo, Marcia Griffiths, Arturo Tappan, Crossfire, Nadia Batson, Wasways, Vaughn, and the Dancehall Emperor, Chavo.
Some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz. For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes. From as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Brannan, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
Yeah, that's right. Grenada's 10 people. Before we move on, we need to remind you of this because time is running out. An established business in St. George's, they are looking for suitable applicants to fill the following position. That's the position of supervisor. And your responsibilities and requirements of the position includes, but is not limited to, achieving excellent customer service and employee satisfaction, as well as provide leadership and can effectively execute responsibilities. Now, work effectively under pressure and be able to meet deadlines. Now, if you live by the values of integrity, personal accountability, and collective responsibility, then you stand a good chance. You must also have excellent communication skills, and if you are the right person for the job, you will have minimum 2 to 3 years operational experience in logistics, knowledgeable in hardware, retail and sales, as well as excellent interpersonal skills. Applications should be submitted to the mailing, to the email address of job opportunity gda@outlook.com. Only applicants selected for interview will receive acknowledgement. All right, so go ahead and sign up for that. All right, guys, good job opportunity for you. It's now time for the National Report.
Grenada is on importation transmission watch as it expands surveillance to cover a wider area of travel. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, February 26th, 2020, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Grenada is on importation transmission watch. The Ministry of Health issued a press release on Wednesday confirming that Grenada is free of COVID-19 cases, even while the virus continues to spread to various countries. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell reiterated that there are no cases of coronavirus in Grenada and neighboring Caribbean islands.
We have no coronaviruses in our country at this point in, and God help us that we continue to have none of it. In fact, the entire Caribbean region reported none of those in any part of the Caribbean, because remember, if there's one incident in Jamaica, they say the Caribbean, we get hurt. It doesn't have to be just in Grenada. One issue in Trinidad, and the distance from Trinidad to Grenada, we know what it is.
The release further stated, and I quote, Grenadian health authorities are expanding their surveillance to cover a wider area of travel to affected areas. This means that the island is on what is referred to as importation transmission watch. These include assessing exposure to risk, monitoring events in the region, and providing pre-travel training, unquote. Pre-trip risk assessment, education, and preparation can reduce the likelihood of an incident disrupting normal everyday life, travel, and trade. Health authorities are also advising people to avoid non-essential travel to the listed areas affected, which apart from mainland China include Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea and Italy. The Ministry of Health advises people who have fever, cough or shortness of breath within 14 days of visiting the above listed countries should contact their family doctor and the health authorities on 440-2649 during regular working hours or 417-1079 or 417-2562. That's 440-2649, 417-1079 or 417-2562 after regular working hours, weekends and holidays. Continuing, the National Water and Sewage Authority NWASA says the new G-Cruise project will address the major challenge of meeting the demands of water supply throughout the island. On Tuesday, at the launch of the new multi-million-dollar climate-resilient water sector project, Wim Cox, NWASA's Planning and Development Manager, said the project will see larger storage facilities for the company, which will see storage being moved to 5 million gallons of treated water. The $135 million project will see an improvement in the distribution of water supply, especially in times of drought and extreme weather events.
NWASA's biggest challenge is and continues to be water supply, especially during the dry season. Our inflows, supply, our demand increases, our supply lessens. And oftentimes we just can't meet the demand, the needs of the public. Now this project enhances presentation. It reiterated a large infrastructure component, meaning that there are going to be a number of storage facilities. We anticipate at least 5 million gallons of treated water storage. And also we're going to be doing some addition in terms of the raw water storage. So once that is completed, we should be better able to supply water during the dry season, which is our biggest challenge as we speak.
During the implementation phase of the project, there will be interruptions to water distribution and traffic disruptions. Cox encouraged Grenadians to look ahead to the completion of the project when demands will be met and quality will exceed the shortfalls of the past.
The project implementation is over 6 years. During the implementation, there's going to be a lot of disruption. There's going to be a lot of digging our roads, water outages. So starting the plight from now that there will be interruptions and issues as we implement. So we just want the public to just bear with us as we do that. At the end of it, people are going to see the results and have a better water supply.
The Grenada Development Bank, GDB, will also play an integral role in the implementation of the G-Cruise project. General Manager Mervyn Lord shared some of the grants farmers and hoteliers can take advantage of to accommodate their individual water solution projects.
Farmers will benefit by obtaining 50% grant for those water solutions, and the hoteliers will benefit by receiving 40% grant. So we're looking at, for both sectors, any form of water solutions. For example, agriculture, whether it is rainwater harvesting, whether it is using water efficient irrigation system, whether it is shade houses, hydroponics. For the tourism sector, water harvesting, recycling of grey water. So instead of just letting all the water, wastewater down the drain, how can we recycle that water and use it for cleaning and gardening and so forth?
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break. Welcome back. Youth parliamentarians are preparing for the first National Youth Parliamentary Sitting, March 9th, in commemoration of Commonwealth Day 2020. Communications Officer within the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and the Arts, Eugenia Peters, gives an update on the Parliament training and other activities geared towards Commonwealth Day celebrations.
Preparations are moving into high gear as Grenada prepares to join the rest of the Commonwealth in recognizing Commonwealth Day. It will coincide with an expo and the hosting of the first sitting of the National Youth Parliament. The sitting is scheduled for March 9th. Project Officer for the National Youth Parliament Program, Desalene Williams, says preparations began 2 weeks ago.
Preparation is going very good. Training is ongoing every Tuesday and Thursday at the Youth Center. Most of them have the experience because they were selected from the parish parliament. So far everything is going really great.
Youth parliamentarians will make presentations based on the resolution. Be it resolved that the National Youth Parliament of Grenada endorses the Non-Biodegradable Waste Control Act 2018 as an effective means of regulating the use of such products, thereby reducing impact of the inevitable disposal of single-use plastics, styrofoam, and other non-biodegradable products. Training facilitator Alicia Alert says the training will cover a number of areas.
What we really focused on was getting them ready for presentation. So topics like public speaking, doing presentations to persuade, thinking or looking at resolutions through the eyes of ministers of government, and doing mock debates. All of that comprised part of what we did so far.
The parliamentarians in training spoke of their involvement in the National Youth Parliament.
The preparation have been great. I've already started taking down some key points, getting my logics and statistics already together just to waiting on my portfolio to put everything in final piece.
Helps me to better understand concepts, helps me to be well informed of what is going on in my country. It could be a little intense being on the spot all the time, but it's a good experience for a young individual.
I have a passion for public speaking. I love to debate and I love to argue on topics that is very interesting to me. I think that Youth Parliament is a good opportunity for me to improve in my debating skills.
They also shared their views on the topic to be debated in the Houses of Parliament at Mount Weldale.
A great resolution to have a sitting about, because at the present moment non-biodegradable products are something that is very detrimental to our environment and the health of persons living in our environment, and it's an issue we have to deal with in current point in time, and that's a good topic to debate about, so that persons looking on from the outside will basically know how and what to do to basically deal with an issue like that.
We are dealing with the Non-Biodegradable Waste Control Act, and I think the act is a good initiative, but it needs refining, and I think you would hear more about that when I say my speech on the day.
I don't think that it's a very effective one due to the wording of the act. It speaks about the disposal, but my question about the act is that, is it one that we're looking for now?
Grenada joined the Commonwealth in 1974. Observed by the 53 member states of Commonwealth, it is a celebration that is held every year. Its purpose is to recognize the work of Commonwealth members and to promote understanding and cooperation on global issues. Reporting from the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts, I am Communications Officer Eugenia Peters.
Thank you, Eugenia. The Carnival festivities have come to an end on the sister isle of Carriacou. The season began with Majestic Thursday. Miss BBH Naomi Fraser walked away with the title of Miss Carriacou 2020. Carriacou Calypso monarch Zarina Bido, known as Lady B, walked away with the crown. Gavin Moses Mozo, for the first time, was crowned in the 2020 Carriacou Power Soca Monarch with his song entitled Drone. Matthew Thomas Golden maintained the title of Groovy Monarch 2020 with a total of 270 points. He performed his song 473. That story just ended the national report for today, Wednesday, February 26th. Let's recap the top story. Grenada is on importation transmission watch as it expands surveillance to cover a wider area of travel. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Alrighty, and everyone who were part of the production of the National Report, we would like to say thank you very much. Of course, the next thing that we want to do is take a look at the weather. I see that you see, my timekeepers, y'all ain't working with me. Look, we exhausted our time. You understand? We exhausted our time. We went a little over today, alright? So let's, let me take a look at the weather, see what it's like. Alright, the water. Alright folks, so the weather for tonight, generally fair and hazy. The minimum temperature is expected to be just around 24.5 degrees Celsius, the max 30.5 degrees Celsius. Winds northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. And that's your weather report for tonight. Alright guys, yeah, some beautiful weather if you know what I mean. So let's big up all the people on the live. We have exhausted our time, so I just want to just say in general, thank you for joining us tonight, and we will come back with another Mikey Live program for you tomorrow, God's willing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May God bless you and your family until we see again on our next program. Tomorrow's program is going to be interesting as usual, and Friday as well. So many things to tell you about. May God richly bless you. Let's do this together. And again, thank you. And if you have not yet done so, please go ahead and share the program. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja! No. Goodbye, everyone. Again, take care of yourself and your family until we see you again. To those of you who are here for the first time, remember that we are looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, God's willing, again.